We're all excited because we have a new tap machine tonight, so I tried it 3 times just for fun.
Yeah, put in $10 each next time.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to open this up and do a land acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge that the former village of Lakefield, now part of the township of Selwyn, is situated on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and within the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Chippewa nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations. Lakefield District Historical Society respectfully acknowledges that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and the caretakers of these lands and waters, and that they will continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. So with that, I'm going to do just a quick intro because Nancy Lane is here with us tonight to talk about Lakefield and District Lions Club and their 80th anniversary, and all the good things that they have done for our community. And I don't have a bio for Nancy, but I do know Nancy a little bit, so I'm just going to make it up and tell you, aside from the fact that this woman is a grandmother to so many, and a great-grandmother to so many, she spends a great deal of her time supporting her family and as well as our community. She's involved in a lot of things beyond the Lions Club, and I, for one, do everything Nancy tells me to do. She's our skip and curling, and I think she came by that really because her previous life, her work life, maybe some of you here even interacted with Nancy in her previous work life, because she did the vehicle when you went in for your driver's license when you were 16. This is the woman who was so brave to drive around with 16-year-olds in Peterborough. And oh, was it Oshawa? Okay. Well, all I know is when she holds the broom down when she's skipping at the club next door, we do exactly what she tells us to do. So all I can say is her previous work life and now her skipping, yeah, she's good. So with that, Nancy, would you come up and give your presentation?
Thank you very much. Can everybody hear me? That's good. Thank you, Jackie, and thank you for having me here this evening. I've been a member of the Lakefield District Lions Club, actually the actual Lions Club, since 2005, but I joined the Lakefield Lioness Club in 1991. And in 97, the Lions Club was no longer sponsored by Lions International, so I switched over to the Lions Club and was the first woman in the Lakefield and District Lions Club. Hard transition, but we made it. So the Lakefield and District Lions Club was chartered on February the 21st, 1946. At that time, it was just men that were allowed in the Lions Club. Women were not part of the Lions Club at that time. So on February 21st of this year is our 80th anniversary of serving our community. We were chartered, and our charter dinner was at what was then called the Grove School and is now Lakefield Community College. That's where our charter dinner was, and it was a formal affair. At that time, to attend a Lions Club, you had to come in a suit and tie, and it was a very formal meeting. This is more our garb now. Sometimes denim jacket or denim short shirts and blue jeans, but it's very laid back now. It's not suit and tie unless you're going to a governor's ball or something. Our charter members Oh, that's not gonna completely show, there we are. I can't get it to show completely, but anyway, I'll scroll it up. Our charter members were both, basically, businessmen in Lakefield or teachers or whatever. So Eric Anderson, Beecher Blake, everybody here should know Beecher Blake, used to own the IGA. Frank Coyle, Reginald Doubt, Frank Erskine, Donald Hendren, everybody should know Don Hendren. Staple when I was growing up, Reverend Hunt, Jack Leonard, Leonard's Hardware. Robert Lennox, I know most of these guys, but not all of them. I was born and raised in Lakefield, so I know a lot of these people. Wilbert Morrison, Kenneth Morris, Ken Morris, everybody should know him. Elwood Northey, used to have the drugstore in Lakefield. My brothers worked there when they were in high school. Cecil Pelton, Frank Payne, John Ryan, Ryan's 5 and 9. Jack, he was Jack, was it? Jack Ryan that had that? Oh, okay. I just recognized Ryan because I got in a little trouble with Jack Ryan when I was a kid. And had to work free for him for a couple weeks. But that was my sheriff's fault, not mine. Where are we here? Harry Stabler. Everett Slum was the principal of the school, the public school when I went to school. Robert Sutton. Winter Smith was the headmaster at the Grove School when I was a kid. Thomas Staves, George Tanner, Harry Wanamaker was my grade 4 teacher at the school. Doug Weaver and Elmer Wright. In order to form a club, and to this day it stands, you have to have at least 20 people that are interested in serving their community. We were sponsored by the Peterborough Lions Club, and every club that is chartered has to be sponsored by another Lions Club. I'm just going to grab some water. Sorry. I meant to bring it up when I was coming up and I forgot. So the Peterborough Lions Club sponsored us to become a club and remains associated with our club. Oops, sorry. Our mandate, our Lions International mandate, is to be an active participant in a compassionate community. From facilitating health screenings and feeding the hungry to cleaning up local parks and helping the community. Lions are ready and willing to jump in wherever there's a need. And that's a lot of things that we hear a lot, is where there's a need, there's a lion. Usually in a national disaster, for instance, even before Red Cross gets there, there's a Lions Club with feet on the ground, with water or whatever's needed until professional help comes. There's usually Lions Club with feet on the ground. And Mike's dad was a member of the Lakefield District Lions Club when my dad was a member. I've known Lions since I was a child, as my grandchildren know, and my granddaughter now is a member of our club. So it's usually a family thing that gets going once they're trained. Our board of directors right now, sorry Don, I cut you off there.
It's all right.
President Don Parsons, who's here with me tonight. I meant to introduce you guys before. Don Parsons is our president. Lion Roy Fitton is our associate secretary. Bill Corbett, and where's Ed? And Ed Cogen are here to support me tonight. Thank you, guys. So our president is Lion Don Parsons. Lion Bill Robertson is our past president. I'm the secretary and have been for 18 years. Nobody wants the job. Between Larry and I think since I joined in 2005, it's either been Larry or myself as secretary through all those years. And the directors are Lion Barry Hunt, Lion Dale Smith, and Lion Jim Riches. These guys give a lot of hours to the club and to the community every year. I wish this. Yeah, it does. The Lakefield District Lions Club has supplied, and this is information Unfortunately, I didn't have all the archival books when I was setting up this because they were lent out to get ready for our 80th. And so a lot of it is coming from my head. So the 2 million is actually more than that. That's much better, thanks, Mike. It's more leaning towards $3 million now that we've given out since 1946. So in the 1940s, we donated $10,000 towards the construction of a new building supporting the youth of our community. It's no longer there, but part of it is in the Isabel Morris Park as a gazebo. But that was part of the original Scout building. In the 50s, we purchased the ballpark supporting sports for activities, and that was a $20,000 donation. And that was in the 50s, so you can imagine how many hamburgers and hot dogs we had to cook to raise $20,000. Yeah. And also in the 50s, we started collecting used eyeglasses for people in need. It says 30,000 as of 2024. I'm the chair of that committee, and as of today, and I still have a couple boxes to pick up, I have collected since June of last year 2,134 glasses to be sent away, and that's just from Lakefield. So the community has been really good. I've got boxes in 5 different places. There's one at the curling club, one at both pharmacies, one at Foodland, one at Hendron's Funeral Home, and one at the optometrist.
And one at the post office.
The one at the post office was put up, not by me, but I keep checking it because they shouldn't be in my territory, sorry. Because I put it there. I don't know who put it there, but they should have come to us first and asked permission to be putting it there, but there's one at the post office as well. There haven't been a lot turned into that one. But the optometrist has hundreds. I had over 800 just lenses donated, no frames or anything, just lenses, and over 500 pairs of sunglasses. 30% of those stay in Canada, 70% go to third world countries with Doctors Without Borders to be sent out. Okay. In the 60s, we purchased equipment to make artificial ice for the Lakefield Arena, as well as repairing the roof. Total of $105,000. And I think it was shortly after that it collapsed. Yeah, but not our fault. We put a new roof on. In the 70s, we paid for a new washroom and concession booth at the campground. It still stands today with our plaque on it. $14,000 to purchase a new fire department rescue van. The campground was $14,000. And to purchase a new rescue van was $7,000 for the fire department. That's when it was the Lakefield Fire Department. I think there's pictures of it later on. In the 80s, $1,000 for the resuscitation unit at the Lakefield Clinic and $15,000 for a CAT scan unit in Peterborough. The $15,000 for the CAT scan came from our club over 5 years, $5,000 over 3 years, sorry. But in total, the lines of our district, and our district runs from Land O'Lakes, Denby Griffith to Kingston, and all clubs in small towns in between. So in our district, we raised enough money for the CAT scan in Peterborough to cover the cost, with some left over. But $15,000 was from our club alone. And that's our health and welfare initiative. $6,000 for new receptacles and planters beautification, which now sit at the shack, up off the highway. They're no longer used. But we had garbage pails, and I think the planters are still being used, are they not? I think they are, I'm not sure. But they were big stone planters and garbage pails. And the garbage pails should go back because there's no garbage pails downtown. Where are we here? $5,000 for our arena expansion to support community building projects. And that, I think some of that $5,000 went to renovations in the Neil's Pin room. Excuse me, and Neil's Pin was actually named after one of our Lions Club members who donated a lot of money to that project, personal money. These are just highlighted. I mean, there's a lot of other things in those years that were donated or given out, and my brain just isn't picking them all up. In the 1990s, $5,000 to put up our sign at the bridges. That sign used to be used to advertise community events that were coming up. People would put in their request at the licensing bureau. We had a guy who would go in and pick that up, and they had to date and time it, and first come, first served went up on the board. We ran into problems with people phoning me, why me, I don't know, but complaining that we were showing favoritism, and actually got into arguments and fights, and it got too much. So now we try and keep our sign to just Lions projects that are coming up. We do make some adjustments to that, but mostly it's just for the Lions stuff that's coming up. It's unfortunate, but in order to be fair to everyone, we had to make a decision. Okay, where are we? $8,000 in total to the holiday parade, Camp Trillium. Camp Trillium is Camp Trillium is a Lions camp for children with cancer. Any child who has cancer and their families can attend this camp free of charge for a week to 2 weeks. And if you want to have your heart ripped out of your chest, go and visit that camp. I swear to God, you won't leave without crying. It was just amazing camp. And it's all the counselors at the camp are university students, and it's just amazing the work they do with these kids. We also have a Camp Kirk, and Camp Kirk is in Kirkfield, sorry, and it looks after children with autism, ADHD, PSD, post-traumatic PTSD, and things like that. That's Camp Kirk. We have Camp Dorset, which is children who are on dialysis. The camp has dialysis equipment and has doctors and nurses that donate their time for children and their families to attend the camp so that they can be normal kids for a week or two. And then we have Camp, what am I missing? Haranda. Camp Haranda is for children with diabetes. And they're taught how to control their treatment themselves. I have 2 granddaughters, and they're both very severe diabetics, and they were both campers at that camp. They learned that they didn't just have to put their pump in their arm. They could put it anywhere on their body if they wanted to, which really helps a young teenage girl if she's going to the prom. She doesn't have a big pump sticking in. She can put it wherever she wants. They learned a lot of things on how to control their eating, how to control their diet, and so on and so forth. So my one granddaughter, who is now a paramedic, was also a camp counselor at Camp Haranda. So that camp really means a lot to me. Oh. Technical difficulties here. There, thank you. So those are the camps that we do support. We support Crime Stoppers, Knights of Columbus Food Bank, Lakefield Food Bank, the Lakefield Junior Seeds, the VON Foot Clinic. I don't know whether they still have that or not, but we supported it for years. United Way. We no longer support United Way for the simple fact that there are so many other institutions and organizations that need the money that have less administrative costs coming out of the donations. So we have to look very carefully where our money goes nowadays, because it's getting harder and harder and harder to make money. I went over the dialysis camp and the Kidney Foundation. $15,000 to the heart catheter campaign. And once again, the $15,000 was just from our club, but our district donated over $100,000. So it to the heart catheter $6,000 to community care in the 90s alone. That has increased because this year alone, I think we've already donated 3,000 this year. So, and $50,000 to the Peterborough Regional Health Center building campaign, mostly for the pediatric cancer bunker that was there. We ran, I imagine most of you bought tickets on our ATV and our $20,000 last year. That's where the money went, was to pediatric cancer, which is one of our children's cancer. In the 1990s and 2000s, $100,000 went towards the new Lakefield Medical Center, Mortensen Medical Center. We went to the very first kickoff for the fundraising campaign and pledged at that meeting to get the funds going. So once again, Lions had their feet on the ground before anybody else. So that helped. Which opened in 2009 to help ease the community's problem of residents without a doctor. We have a vision and hearing screening, which began in 2004. That in itself is my pet project. I'm the district coordinator for vision and hearing screening, and my husband and I went around the whole district and raised money to buy the equipment to do the vision screening. We screen kindergarten, grade 1 students twice a year, or once a year, I should say. The 2 schools in Lakefield. Our whole district is now back into it because in 2017, the wisdom of our government decided to download vision screening to the health units and told us we were no longer welcome in the schools after spending $70,000 on new equipment. And then the health units had the gall to come to us and want us to donate our equipment to them. So sorry, we're hanging on to this. So then COVID hit, and the health units stopped the program. Of course, the schools weren't running that much anyway. When the COVID was over, the health units suspended all vision screening over all schools. So I got back on my horse and went around and said to the school boards, we need to get back in the schools. Our kids are falling between the cracks again. We need to get back in and look after our children. Because hearing and vision in the schools with a small child is very, very important. And just as to show you how important it is, our very first day in our very first school in Buckhorn in 2005, because it took us a year to get up and running, we had a young girl who did not meet requirements for any of our testing. We have the distance, we have what they call a fly test, which screens to see if both your eyes are working together. And we have a refractor which scans the eye for any irregularities. She didn't pass anything. So I sent a letter home. We always send a report home to the parents. About 6 weeks later, I get a letter from the parents saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. We took our daughter to the optometrist. The optometrist told us to take her immediately to the PRHC. They put her in a helicopter, took her to Sick Kids and operated on an optic tumor on her optic nerve. So that one child has made the entire thing worthwhile. And we picked up a few others over the years too. So we are now back into all the schools except for the Limestone School Board, which is down Kingston Way. They will not let us in until the government removes their mandate. So down there we can't. No, and no begging helps. In fact, I almost got arrested at a Pete's game because I accosted our our premier, Doug Ford, and his security didn't like that very much. But I wanted to get it across to him. He wasn't answering my phone calls or my letters, so I just went out and spoke to him. And his security didn't like that very much at all. But we got back into the school, so I don't know whether it helped or not. So anyway, we're back in the schools, and hopefully we will start. I have been a little busy because I'm also boarding or billeting a Peterborough Pete player, so I've been busy feeding him all winter. I haven't had a chance to get into the schools yet. And I'm missing the first playoff game tonight, guys. So Other initiatives, we sponsor the and run, thanks to Dawn's hard work over the years, and our whole club, the Santa Claus Parade every year. But we're all starting to age, believe it or not. And I was just saying that my granddaughter, who's now a member of our club, was in a Santa Claus Parade when she was 5 weeks old. So that shows how family gets involved. We have a car show in Isabel Moore's Park every August. Golf tournament in September, a very successful golf tournament. Yearly raffle and food drive. We do one in at Easter, which is in March. Well, Easter's not March, but we do one in March for the food bank, and one in December. Also, a lot of you may have seen in the Herald that we donated a new fridge to the food bank because their refrigerator broke down. And we got a grant to cover that cost. July 1st, we have our food trailer at the beach for the July 1st weekend. Might just other places too, but we actually even did a wedding last year. So we did our golf tournament in the morning, left the golf tournament at 2:30 and went to a wedding. So it was an all-day affair. Not me. I left after I finished golfing. Let the guys look after that.
It was my granddaughter's wedding.
And we do, our food trailer goes to Cups for Cancer. And I have pictures later. 1 year, I think my granddaughter was 13. She grew her hair out and had it cut off and donated it. And I had my head shaved. And a couple of our members had their head shaved too. And believe me, it took a long time to go back. Okay, why are we not moving? Did I turn that off by mistake?
Could be.
Battery's gone. Our service programs, a lot of people think that the Lions Club is only out to get your money, but we do a lot of things that actually cause our club money, and we have to do a certain amount of service every year to our community. So our vision and screening for the kindergarten grade 1 kids in the schools, that's one service that costs the schools and none of the parents pay any money. In fact, if we recognize a child that may need glasses, we have brochures that we hand out at the time when we're doing the vision screening. And if they need assistance in getting glasses for that child or a hearing aid for that child, they can write a letter to our club and we will consider supplying that for them. As well as collecting used eyeglasses, we collect used hearing aids as well. And they're taken to the ear company in Peterborough, and they use them to either repair old hearing aids or they sanitize them and hand them out to people who can't afford hearing aids. So that's another thing that we do as a service. We collect used eyeglasses, and I was telling you how many we have on. Oh. We have the Santa Claus Parade, and at the Santa Claus Parade we collect money and food for the local food bank, and toys for the toy drive. We adopt a road, we clean up Rock Road, usually in April, but it depends on how wet the ditches are. And we're all getting to the point that getting down those ditches is not too bad, it's getting back out. That's a little hard. And we do a spring and fall food drive for the Lakefield Food Bank. Our donation policy, we donate to groups that enable food security, like food banks. We donate to groups that care for the vulnerable, community care. It says YWCA, but we also give to the something kids, smart kids? Strong Kids, the Strong Kids campaign for the YMCA, so both. We donate to groups preserving the community, like your society, or the Horticultural Society, groups maintaining quality of life, like CNIB Dogs and One City in Peterborough. For 2 summers, I took in puppies from our puppy program. for the Lions Club, and I was a babysitter. If their host family wasn't able to take them somewhere, I had a lady who was on the speed walking, Canadian speed walking team, and she had to go to Alaska for a competition for a week, so I had her puppy for a week. So while I had that puppy, I had to continue its training. So you may have seen me walking through town with a dog with a little vest on. So that's some of the donation policies that we have. We donate directly to residents that are struggling with mobility issues, dental, living hardships. We learned a long time ago that in most cases, if it's a dental program or something of that sort, we ask them to send us the invoices, and we will pay directly to the dentist or directly to, if they need hydro or heating or something like that, rather than donating directly to the person, because sometimes they have more pressing needs and the money doesn't get to where it was actually supposed to go. So we try to do it that way, and that way they still have hydro on, they still have heat in their home, that sort of thing. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing here. Spontaneous events. Okay, we clean up Rockwell, we've done that, we've done food drives. I think we're just, well, we have a scrap metal bin. I don't know whether a lot of you know this. It's out on Highway 28. You go through the lights, and it's about half a kilometer from the lights on the left-hand side. And all the money, we have a big bin there, and who picks it up?
Nurse.
Scrap metal picks it up and then donates or puts the money right directly into our account. And that money goes for needs that we have as a club, but also back into the community. Because our club, if we collect $10 from you, $10 goes back into the community. So any money that is collected from the community, 100% goes back into the community. Money that doesn't come directly from the community, we can use to maintain our building, where we keep all of our supplies and so forth, to buy tables and chairs and things that we may need to carry on, upkeep on our trailer, that sort of thing. So that's what the scrap metal bin. But also, if something comes up in the community where we need extra money, we take it from the scrap metal money that's in our account. This is a picture from last year. That's one load of eyeglasses that I did, and I think at that time it was almost 3,000 pairs that I sent off. Peterborough Trucking and Moving transports our glasses for free to a Lions distribution center in Quebec. So I just have to count them, package them up, and get one of the guys to come pick them up from my house and take them to Peterborough. And I've got 5 boxes ready to go. Okay, and this is our screen. Well, I don't know who's going to pick them up, but I can't lift them. Good job, I have a Peterborough Pete player. He was able to put them in file for me. And this is our vision screening program that we still do. Now this is an old, the very first machine that we bought, and it worked, but it took so long because it did one eye at a time. If the kid blinked or the lighting wasn't exactly right, it took forever. Our new machine does both eyes at the same time, and it's instant. So for kids, especially kindergarten children, don't like to sit there for 10 minutes waiting for you to find the right light. So the new machine is far better. Now, this is up, oh, God, what am I doing here? Is it you doing that or is it me? Thank you. I'm not sure if it's me or him. We'll blame him. This is a food bank thing that we put up at Foodland, and was it last year that was minus 25 at the Foodland?
It worked good, Nancy, because they took pity on it.
Yeah,
They were standing there shivering.
I know even on March 14th when we were down there, it was cold. And a lot of people came and said, oh, you look so cold here. You know, and they give us money. And we had a van load of food and $1,100.
$1,115.
Yeah, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And this, of course, is our Santa Claus parade. Our poor little reindeer, we had to do some surgery on this year, but we were able to replace their legs and their horns, and they're much better. And our sleigh was a little rickety, so we had to, and Lion Dawn fell through the platform, hurt his neck, so we have to replace the platform on our, yeah. So that's, we give blood, sweat, and tears to this club, we really do. And none of us are getting any younger. Of course, our food bag, and that's the parade again. And this is our classic car show.
There's your dance partner.
Jim must have put that picture in. This OPP officer is amazing. He shows up. Last year he had glasses that you could put on that made you feel like you were drunk, and you had to walk a line, and it was amazing. But they were playing 50s, 60s music, and I'm standing there. Actually, there's a sign on here, if you can see right there, it says pick up. I stood beside that sign for half an hour and nobody picked me up. So he finally came over and picked me up and danced with me, so that's what that is. And we also collected food for the food bank that day and money. And we have, what, 210 cars?
110.
This year, but the year when that picture was taken was over 200, was it not? No? Okay, I must have a dream. And this, of course, is our golf tournament. That's my daughter. And it's a good tournament. We were able to have foursomes on every hole, so that was a good tournament. And that's our adopt a road. That's our medal bin, right there.
That was the year, Nancy, that we did the pickup in Lakefield.
Oh, right. In April, we did for people who couldn't get out to the bin, we went around to their homes and picked up whatever they needed. And I'm talking fridges, stoves, barbecues, snow blowers. I don't think it's going to happen this year because none of us can lift those things anymore. It's getting to that point. We need young people. Okay, and there's me getting my head shake. And I'm not sure who that is. I think that was Dave Garrett, wasn't it? I think it was, but anyway. We used to have a lobster fest. Do any of you remember the lobster fest?
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah. We price prohibitive right now at work. We can't. It took us a week to set things up, and it was amazing. And 2 or 3 days to take it down. And we used to have a $500 raffle, and every month we would draw our ticket, and whoever ticket was drawn won $500, and your name went back in. Then the sales of tickets dropped off, and we sort of got rid of that. We might bring it back eventually. Pancakes at Warsaw Caves. Anybody remember that one? We used to go out to, when I was a kid, that's where the pancake Maple Fest was at the caves, and they had tents, and they had old plywood counters and things, and they went back. And my dad used to tell a story about, there were more Warsaw Caves, and I'm trying to remember the politician who it was. But anyway, 2 kids came up and wanted some pancakes, and they didn't have any money. So the guys gave them each a couple pancakes. They really were hungry. So about 10, 15 minutes later, this politician came up. I wish I could remember his name. And apparently he and the kids were in the woods, and he was training them how to look after themselves and how to gather food in the woods. And they came back to camp with 2 pancakes. And he couldn't figure out where they got the pancakes, and it was at I wish I could remember his name. But anyway, we used to have a boat loader and trailer battle. I didn't know whether I should remember or believe that story or not, because my dad was one for tails. Anybody who knew Joe Dunford would know that my dad was one for tails. We used to have a pickerel derby. But we had somebody come one time at our pickerel derby and couldn't figure out why he didn't win. And because he had a bigger fish. But it was one he'd caught last year that was out of his freezer. Oh. So it didn't qualify. This was our one and only attempt at a guide dog walk to raise money for the dog. We had 2 dogs show up for the walk, so that didn't help. So now if you want to go to a dog guide walk, you have to go to Peterborough. Service to the committee, or to the community. OPP, that's the, I'm trying to remember what that was. I saw the picture and I couldn't for the life of me remember what we did for the OPP. Oh, it was their bicycle ride.
That was a car show.
Oh, was that the car show? Oh, okay. And this one here is, we donated some money to Camp Cortha. This one, I ran one year a literacy. I asked for new or gently used books to be donated, and then we went to the food drive or the food bank, and we handed out books to children that came into the food bank so that they would have something. So that satisfied our literacy commitment to Lions International. This, our club took on
Curtis Park.
Curtis Park. Does everybody know where Curtis Park is? Yeah. We took on Curtis Park and it was a mess. We cleaned it all out. We planted 2 big flower beds. The Horticultural Society planted a butterfly flower bed, and we put a bench in. And we kept it up until the homeless moved in, and then it just got to the point where I didn't feel safe to go in and maintain the gardens. So we didn't get in this year at all to maintain it. And it's a shame, because when I was a child in Lakefield, they had beautiful flower beds in there, and it was people who got married used to go there and have their pictures taken in Curtis Park. A lot of people don't know that little parkland is there, and it's a shame that it's been let go. And then we donated notebooks to the 2 schools in Lakefield. I think it was 3 for each school.
That one is the public school.
That's the public school, and 3 to the Catholic school, because the kids were learning on notebooks, but they were sharing them because the school didn't have enough notebooks for each child. So we donated 3 to each school, which cost quite a bit of money. We had defibrillators put at the Marshland Center and at the public school, and donated them. Then we had to tell them, okay, we donated it, you guys have to upkeep them, because the township kept phoning us and saying that the batteries needed to be changed. Sorry guys, we donated it to you, that's your responsibility of upkeep. So the big checks, that's Peterborough Regional Center. That's the $25,000 one.
Yes.
$5,000 to Lakefield.
Comfort Center.
Thank you. That's the new comfort center that's just opening up at the United Church. So we just gave them, I recognize the face, I just couldn't remember from where. And this one's from quite a while ago. So I'm not really sure what that was, but I think it was the fire department. And this one was for the food bank.
he told Nancy, on top of that 25,000, we already given him 5,000.
Yeah,
So the club gave him $30,000.
and that was for the pediatric cancer stuff, or cancer doctor, yeah. So anyway, these are some of the things that we've supported in the village, or in the community, and the surrounding. Community care, Horticultural Society, Lakefield Youth Unlimited, the YMCA, NYW, Salvation Army, 1C, Camp Kirk, Camp Cortha, 5 counties, the PRHC Foundation, the Cenotaph Restoration, Food Bank, Food Share, Guide Dogs, Lakefield Comfort Center, both schools, Medical Center, Fire Department, the Arena Restoration, community members in need, and the 3 camps, CNIB, Huntington Society, Cancer Society, and the Lions Foundation. Lions Foundation is what the Lions clubs will donate to. And what they do is, for instance, if we had a major thing like the Morton Center, and we needed assistance, we could apply to them for a grant. And as long as we have been donating to the foundation, they will look over what is involved in that grant and give it to us. They also help people in disasters. When the ice storm hit, our district applied for grants and got them. They applied for a grant for Trenton for a playground for disabled children and got a grant from the foundation. So it's a good foundation to have. The money that we were able to give for the refrigerator at the food bank was a grant from Lions Foundation. So it's a good foundation to have behind us. So that's about all I've got to say about this wonderful club. We're looking for members. Anybody's interested? We handed out some handouts, did we not? On how to get a hold of us. And anyone got any questions? Yes.
I'm just curious about the structure of, I mean, why isn't it Peterborough and District Lions Club?
Zebra has their own Lions Club.
I understand that, but it preceded the Lakefield one?
Mhm.
How did Lakefield not wind up as part of that originally?
They sponsored us to form a club. In order to charter a club or to form a club, you have to have another club sponsor it. The same as if you wanted to join our club, you would have to be sponsored by one of our members to come into the club. There's a yearly dues that we pay. A lot of people, that sort of turns them off because, you know, why should we have to pay to volunteer? But that helps us pay our dues to Lions International every year.
Administrative.
Yeah, and then it doesn't come into the community. So we have two meetings a month, the first and third Wednesday of every month, and they're both dinner meetings. So, anybody else? Yes.
How many members is there, and how do you meet at certain times or anything?
Yeah. When I joined in 2005, we had 45 members. Today we have 20. And we're all aging. I'm one of the younger members. And I'm a great grandma. So,
Your great grandmother as well?
so it's you know, we're all in our late 70s, 80s. I think we have one member that's pretty close to 90. No? But the youngest one is my granddaughter, who's 30. So it's very hard to find younger members because they're so tied up with their families and whatnot. And like I said, we meet twice a month, first and third Wednesday of the month. We have social hour from 6 to 7 and our meals at 7. And then our businesses after that. Our meals are $20.
Where is your building?
We meet at the Marshland Center by the beach.
That's a nice building.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact date, but our club was bequeathed Isabel Moore's Park, and I think it was back in the early 50s. early to mid-50s that we actually owned Isabel Morris Park, our club, not me, I wasn't old enough. But the clubs couldn't maintain it and pay taxes and whatnot, so they donated it to the township with the understanding that we would always have a meeting place free of charge in perpetuity. They tried, when they amalgamated, they tried to start charging us. But I just happened to have the original document in the archives and said, no.
Don't forget this.
So we don't pay any rent. They supply a room for us to lock all of our stuff up in. All of our catering stuff and whatnot is in the back room at the Marshall Center.
One other thing I was curious about, I mean, there are a number of clubs that are, are benefactors to the different municipalities that they're in. Do you find that you step on the toes of each other? I mean, there's the Rotary and there's the Kinsman as well.
No, we seem to work well together,
People
really.
have their own areas that you.
Well, for instance, when we help out Warsaw with their car shows, and a lot of their volunteers that help out are Knights of Columbus.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we work well together. No, I can't say that we do. We do have a bit of a problem right now because we have 2 Lions clubs in Lakefield. And it gets a little confusing.
How the heck did that happen?
It should never have happened, but in 1997, when Lions International no longer supported the Lioness Club, the district took over for a few years and sponsored them so that they could keep running. But then eventually, a lot of the Lions, there's a couple in the district that are still running, but a lot of the Lions clubs became Lions clubs. Lioness clubs became Lions clubs. And instead of the Lioness Club joining our club, they decided to form their own Lions
You
Club.
could use the extra members, that would be good.
Yeah, and it's just got a little confusing for the community, especially when we're selling tickets, and they're selling tickets. Oh, well, we already bought. No, that was the other Lions Club. So it's very confusing, and our town is too small to support 2 clubs. So we work together quite a bit, and we're working on trying to amalgamate the 2 clubs so that takes away
Sorry, what's the difference between the 2 Lions Club here?
nothing.
Nothing. You guys
Except
just work for
one's
the
women
same.
and one's mixed. Although I do think they took on a man, didn't they, in their club? They have a man, I think, in their club. Yeah. So it's just that at the time, they didn't want to amalgamate. They called us the men's club, even though I was in it. It was the men's club. And a lot of those older members are now gone, have either left Lionism or passed away. So a lot of the newer members are now looking at it and saying, yeah, you're right. We have to look at this a little deeper.
We did a joint summer raffle last year, and it went good.
Beautiful.
They got to know us, we got to know them a little better and work with them, and we're working closely.
There's hope for the
to
future.
amalgamate.
Yes.
The one strong problem, we have 45 members that would be running.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, and that's my goal. I'm working on that. And, we're
Hopefully
supposed to have a
it'll-
vote actually tonight at the meeting, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
So we're hoping that in the future we'll have a little bit more nucleus to work with. Any other questions?
They don't have any, they don't have any rules for, so somebody, say Durham Dummer could have a Lions Club but then you're all competing, it's serving the same communities.
The good thing about that though is if you're traveling, for instance, and you go through every small town in Canada, there's a Lions Club sign.
Well, not as many.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Because I traveled to every one of them when my husband and I were trying to set up the vision screening. We went to every Lions Club in our district, and there are 43 Lions Clubs in our district. So that's a lot of Lions Clubs. And in Kingston, well, it's a bigger city, there's 3 Lions Clubs in Kingston. There's 2 in Coburg. So but it works, somehow it works. I don't know how, but it works. Our town is just too small. When we go out to have donations, say for prizes for our golf tournament, we're competing with the other Lions Club because they're trying to get prizes for something that they're doing. And it's not fair to our merchants, and it's not fair to our community. Because we rely heavily on help from our community when we're doing fundraisers. Yes.
So is your club the only one that does the vision and hearing screening, or does the other club do as well?
They help out with the vision screening.
And what area do you cover? Like how far do you cover for the vision and hearing?
Myself personally,
This club.
our club,
Yeah.
we just do St. Paul's and Lakefield Public School. It's all-
One year we went down into
Into Peterborough, yeah, to help them out. But me personally, I train all of the vision screening and hearing screening teams from Land O'Lakes, Debbie Griffith, all the way to we just went down to Sterling a couple
Sterling
weeks
Lions Club wanted to
ago.
get involved in it. So we went down there to show them, this is what we do, this is how we do it.
So we do a lot of
I
traveling.
never say that the kid has failed or the student has failed. We refer them.
Do not be required.
Fail. So
Yeah.
being referred.
Nancy?
Okay, any other questions before we?
Lastly, by now, I expect you've gotten used to being called Lion Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
Can you pull one of those out of the arm here?
This lady is the backbone of our club. If she gets sick or quits, there won't be a so,
You just need a new secretary, that's all.
Don't undersell yourself.
Thank you, Nancy, that was amazing. And I think we all learned a lot tonight from that presentation, and we're really happy to support your presentation, and hopefully, you know, that helps gain some traction and some membership and some additional
One good
stuff.
Sorry, I forgot to mention, we are having a community interactive, we're having a community interactive 80th anniversary party in Isabel Morris Park on June 20th. We're just in the planning stage right now, but we're doing things like stuff in our food trailer that's going to be for sale that day will be 80 cents. We'll have scavenger hunts for the kids, hopefully face painting, things like that.
music,
Vision and hearing screening, diabetes screening, that sort of thing.
Frank, was there a DJ?
Yeah, we have a lion from Peterborough coming up. He's going to be our DJ. He's going to play music from 1946 to present. So, that's June 20th.
June 20th, okay. Be there, be square. Okay, so Nancy pulled a number for the 50-50 draw, and it is 61970476.
Mine.
That's yours. Okay, Diane.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not fixed.
I just thought it wasn't mine.
Okay, she's donating back for next
You
week.
should have consulted with me on
Next
that
week's,
first.
next month's gonna be a really good one. Okay, and I'm gonna pull another one for the, Maureen Tavner brought in this lovely little spring thing. And the number is 6703371. Nobody won that one? Diane?
No.
The last three digits are 371.
I got it.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Maureen.
Yeah, and as they say, nothing fixed about this. Really.
Yeah, thank you, Maureen. So the only other thing I'm gonna mention is that, next month, we're having an event here, and it is James Gordon doing Hometown Tunes. So if you don't have tickets, it's a fundraiser for us, and, I know I've got my tickets, And it's gonna be a good one, and apparently, thank you, Madame, you get this. Nope. Thank Maureen.
Thanks, Marie. You're welcome. I'm gonna give it a gift on my birthday.
Oh, that's right.
So you can get tickets, here, or the night of, also at the Cheesy Fromage. All right, thank you for coming out, and hopefully we'll see folks next month.